Now, this time of the year is avocado, mangoes are gone.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Planning Board meeting dated August 22nd, 2020. We're about to start shortly. The chairman will go down the agenda, being that we have a full house, correct? Okay, so about to start. We ask when he does call your item or your address, come step up to the podium, speak into the mic. If you need to go to the table, take the mic with you. And if you have any questions as far as follow-up, please see me or look on your login on the online portal.
Your microphone's on. Let me know whenever you're ready. You're gonna feed me this? The new plants. Is everybody ready? Hello. No, I'll just go down the agenda. All right, let's get started. Good evening, everyone. This is the planning board meeting for the Village of Biscayne Park for Monday, August 22nd, 2022. It is now 6:30. Do the roll call. Edward Leyva.
Here.
Scarlett Hammonds.
Here.
Manny Espinoza.
Here.
Gage Hartung. I'm here, as well as Espy.
Here.
From the building department. David Gruen was, he did submit a letter that he was not going to be here tonight. I'll take a motion to excuse him.
Take a motion to excuse.
First, Ed, and then all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, so David's excused. All right, so we have a pretty full house and not a huge agenda, so I'm just gonna go down the list and I'll skip down to see like who's here, and then we'll come back up to the top of the list after we address everybody. First will be old business A, 11315 Northeast, 11315 Northeast on 9th Court, right? New construction. So do we have new plans, correct? We have plans in front of us at the table. Yes. All right.
Well, I'm just, we start to show some of our
Not much has changed. Just see profile. Well, this is this. So,
Well, one
side
of
yard
our,
elevation, that's a-
one of our comments was that this looked like a big house to drop down behind the existing house, and there was really no connection. to it. But,
that was his suggestion.
detail.
Sorry, but it's a two-story structure.
Still have a 2 foot, 24 foot wall almost. of the backyard.
To the ridge.
Well, yes, I know, but I'm just gonna drop off. Drop off 20. Still have to see packed.
Okay.
First, second floor.
Pardon me?
The requirement.
Okay. So, right on the corner, directly beside our structure. here, we have a very modern structure that was originally like this. Now it's like this. Here's where we are. I think we're reinforcing some of those lines. in what we're doing. You see on some of these other buildings I found, very large monolithic built structures that you described to me.
Yeah. but
With
if you look
lots
at-
of terraces.
But if you look at this house, for example, it steps
This is a
up,
double
it's-
wide.
and it steps down, it steps away from its
This is a
neighbor.
double
This is
lot.
not
There's
on the
terraces, it's on the property line over here. And you'll see that that dimension is nearly the same as this dimension. Okay, so here we have another structure that almost abuts the other property line. It's just recently completed. It's 70 foot along, perfectly
This is
square
one
along the
story.
side. It's more than 1 story. I think it's a 12-foot structure. It's not a 8-foot structure. Okay. Furthermore, here's a structure, we had a comment about the cricket. We're using there. Here's a structure which engages the cricket. We have another monolithic wall on both sides of this property. This side is just multiple gables. I can show you multiple examples of these things that happen throughout the neighborhood. Here's a,
The thing. This is not on the setback. This is not on the setback. You know, this one is massed at the front at the same level as the rest of the house. It's not in the rear. You know, the fact that you have this big structure overlooking your neighbor's side.
oh, I got it. There's 3 windows on that side. That lands further against the house. It's not, but the neighbors are. It's not like much different than any other structure. We worked hard to try to maintain the integrity of the neighborhood. We worked hard to keep this up. We have the right to tear down the structure, start from scratch. Not our preference. My goal is to create a structure that worked within the neighborhood. Personally, the gabled roof solution puts a ballad into our pool. I prefer to do a hybrid solution. Let's see further. When it will be out there or not. And it's simple, modern construction throughout the neighborhood. Then what is it? And I think essentially you call it a large campus. Roof makes the bottom, so it is not monolithic. I fall within the ultimately, we have done nothing outside of seems to me that selective enforcement.
This house and this house don't relate. It's not a time.
I think that just rendering is somewhat misleading. I'm not sure I understand. I don't quite understand. This is right in this area. This isn't the story to that. This is what they'll be seeing. Right here. They have a big tree right here. We're putting more trees in. This is really not. I think we took your advice and we added the stone cladding throughout the finish so that the body doesn't have to. Using the roof line to do this. Tested hiding the property. Although there are plenty of terraces that overlook the neighborhood. Not our intention. We want to protect the privacy of others. We want to keep it an open outdoor experience. Other part of kids playground right here. This. In a previous. Faces their house. The only area that would, they would see from the back. We had this all set by the book. We wanted to gain a little bit of room on the fence. Offset the foot. That gave us this. Opener use it instead of being. Yeah. There plus 12. Yeah, exactly. That's a structure. This is structure. If we try to offset this, we're gonna have to put more columns. What about major? What about the middle? What I'm suggesting is the offset. Here, it's very difficult for us. Less impact structure setting that one. This actually has a bit of that all. Right? Yeah, it's tucking in that really big of a wall. That's reasonable. Well, I mean, we could, this is all new construction. So we could just get a little bit more terrace. Helps. Foot, and now it's. Well, there we go. When we offset, we have a roof issue. Just have a larger. That'll pass through. Sure. I feel like
That's the structure.
Yeah. I don't think it's as massive as you suggested. Every time I come in here, sir, everybody in here, every single comment. So I'm thinking, I believe this. So I'm comfortable with offsetting as you suggest. I've done everything you've asked me to do. Listen to you as well, man. I think it's unimaginable. I think that this plan moving forward. I would like to say, let me come back with my MEPs do the offset, and then please let me move.
If they were, if they were, if they were, don't make it work, right? So,
I see your point.
I'm sorry to be off this project when I was looking at it.
Hopefully it's been 2 months been going. I'm for residential.
The step up thing is adding some. I don't see the plan. How. Like, having some meeting. In between this one and that, right?
Small structure here that we're trying to make it in the existing structure. If we grew that larger, it causes other problems. If you can also try to integrate with this portion.
That's, I can't.
That is how it's trying. Single story.
Slight lower.
Our west elevation. Not that massive, doubling of the size. It would be a lot smaller. This space and this space are pretty much equal. And if you notice as well, to that point, and to that point, you'll notice this line begins above the garage. It continues over here, so we continue this line throughout the structure to kind of help the eye move throughout. And I think it brings it so similar style as this. One. These lines. It'll be a 10-inch.
Like materials and color. Large materials that help us to-
Make this a little less.
But this is the whole-
This is, we have not done the
Right.
rendering. Yes, the color is correct. You can see it better perspective in this rendering. Illustrate better. This is the rendering. Well,
Yeah, but
I
I still
had-
see that in elevation.
yeah, again, it was an issue with the time. Have a hybridized version here or something like this. If it makes a difference to the board. there's. I moved columns from this side, the left side to you. And this is what I asked the architect. Bring, this line is existing. I just wanted to carry it through, just move those columns over. I felt like that just added some authenticity. for this. Pardon me? I have it. You have an angle of it. The Google Map. Yes. Exactly. You can see how this roof line is just. Very common. I personally could care for all this stuff. I'm not sure. Neither for you. So what I propose is we widen our fascia all the way across the 10 to 12 inches. Mimic that over here as well. I don't intend to do anything to the city construction. Eyes. Opposite by 1 foot, 18 inches. Again, I'm gonna refer you to this. This is the better way. Shows you a much better perspective. We're just trying to do a tier. This project. You like this 3D printing this one. So can I get a little bit of help here by allowing me to? So just, you know, process. I'm sure you guys use the building process, we have setbacks all the time. But this is getting real arduous. I will make the adjustments, will inspect, but I do. Trades. First. Can't go another month and a half. So. I just didn't know where I said that. Obviously, one person proposed with this building, maybe up to three considered. And really, you have to take into consideration all of these.
Not mine.
There's as well. There's as well. This is about the privacy of, here's about the privacy of the neighbors. And I, plenty of landscaping to protect the privacy. We've followed the code in every respect. Undulating the wall is a big ask. Fortunately, in this conversation, with a clever idea. But, you know, once I do that, I feel like I should get a go. I feel like I need that today so that I can do what I need. to get this done. Well, already got it. And just- I can put it here to the next meeting knowing that I will be approved. Just as we get this done. And I know then I can move forward. Then I can get back to my meeting. So what I'm asking, if I can do- I hear your point. What I'm asking is, I assume you're gonna vote yes, based upon our conversation today. When I come in with my own piece, then I can submit everything. in the process. That's what I'm asking. Because I've already had all my.
I just said, you're asking us to affirm that we're gonna go possibly in the next year.
No, I'm not asking you to affirm but positive. I'm asking you if you do vote and I do bring in my community, will you allow me to continue? Wait.
Yeah. Come back.
I'm trying to understand the process here. I'm not sure.
That's what we're gonna do.
Your permit, because no, so to answer your question, yes, you come back. You can approve. You have to keep it before. But if you have to just change it, we're not inclined to vote for it. You don't have to vote. You're gonna be wasting a lot of money.
I'm not. Discuss.
Same.
It's clear. I don't think I have any choice. I appreciate the time the board is giving me, but I do feel like there's.
Do we have the name Launer here? Launer, no. Okay, Sanchez? Oh, Launer, 645 Northeast 114th Street. Sanchez, 925 Northeast 117th Street. Feldman? Sir, Feldman, Old Business D, 12015 Northeast 10th Avenue for a driveway.
Hello.
Just 1 second, sir, please.
Mic on?
Hello, hello. Yes. We do sorry for the last meeting, the modification
Mhm.
for the approach and the gravel, to show exactly what is the gravel that we use.
These red squares, what are they? Are they just kind of indicating car sizes?
It says Feldman. All right, so I think we tabled this because it didn't come out to the street. I think that was the issue, wasn't it?
The issue last time was the approach.
The approach, yes.
Yeah.
So the only thing, so you fixed that. The only thing now is that the portion
border.
of gravel in the approach needs a 4-inch border on the sides and a 16-inch border along the street.
Yeah,
And you've got the border shown, but only inside the property, not the portion in the approach.
but I do that because if not, the gravel is go out, but.
Yeah, but I'm saying your drawing doesn't show that. You
Okay.
wanna look-
Shows it, it
Okay.
shows it's still at the property
Yeah,
line.
it shows the borders bordering, inside the property. That border goes there, and then there's an 8-inch border, a 4-inch border on.
So if they correct the border issue, the drawing, I think it looks good. There's a picture of the
Helps.
gravel. It's
All
like a gray slate kind of looking,
by
actually
the-
granite. I guess it's more of a granite. Black, and it's 5/8 inch per size.
And is there the calcs are fine? I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, I mean, it's gravel,
It's
so.
gravel.
It's gravel.
It's a
it's-
corner,
it's-
it's a corner lot, so.
So technically, you'll need to submit the correct drawing, but Gage, maybe you can just submit it for your approval. after,
Yeah.
you know. So
You understand
motion,
what they're saying?
Yeah, I know that I need to put
yeah,
that.
so I'm gonna make a motion to approve
Okay.
tentatively, subject to you actually submitting the corrected drawing.
Okay, I submit this for
Chairman
this
will take
way.
a look at it. You don't have to wait 2 weeks. He'll look at it on his own time.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
The border.
The border, of the street, it needs to be along the street.
Yeah,
So that was a motion by Ed. Manny, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Hi.
Motion to approve based on the order being at the street, and he's submitting a new drawing to it.
thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, just make sure you fix the drawing, send it to SB.
All right, just to everybody that's here, Candela, is there somebody here for Candela? 472 Northeast on 21st Street? No, you just,
Submit the drawing online.
Okay.
Or come see me tomorrow or Thursday or Wednesday.
Otato, anybody for Otato? Okay,
Detail, the standard detail shows concrete. I'm sure if you put pavers. on it.
649 Northeast 117th Street for a driveway.
Like brick or something.
Yeah,
We should have it here.
but then this is the package you get at the city, which just shows concrete.
It's the driveway for the new construction. It's basically the same design of, the house that we
Yeah.
review.
Getting your sub permit now.
Yeah, just the permit, the calculations are in there, are like 29%, 27% for the
This
approach.
is-
So it's a concrete strip that's in the middle. He's at 29%.
Yep.
In
Otado?
the,
Yeah, Otado, yeah,
in the property, 27 on the swale.
on the soil, yep.
And it's concrete, It's like the
Concrete.
picture. There's a picture here of it.
Yeah, there is.
Any question?
Just trying to pull it open, so. Far from the property.
I
line.
have it printed. You wanna see?
That's okay. I just had to get it. Another calc sketch?
The calcs are 29 and 27. So in the swale and the right of way. And the right of way, I mean, in the property. Excuse me. Good? Do I have a motion?
I'm just giving them a chance to look at it.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Okay. Manny and Ed, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. We're good, sir. Thank you.
Do you have any sub permits left now, or is that it?
No.
Still the pool?
Thank you, sir. Placencia? Okay, 705 Northeast 120th Street. This is for a roof. We'll do that first. And you also have Building D, a windows and doors. So we're gonna look at the roof first.
Okay. So yeah, I just want to do a new roof built up. Adhesive, no tar. And including 3 skylights also.
Sorry, we're doing it all now via the computer, so it takes a
Okay.
little bit longer. So it's a,
Purchased the house recently?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm the
I know
owner.
where that is.
Thanks.
is it a flat roof or a?
It's an existing flat roof. We're not
Multi-tiered
adding,
flat roof.
yeah, we're not adding any extra roof
Okay,
size.
all right. We have the product here.
Yeah, the NOAs,
Flat. Okay. I see what it
NOAs are in
is.
there.
Any questions?
Motion.
Manny,
Second?
Ed, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Okay, this is for the roof?
Yes. And then also we have the same address for D, for windows and doors.
For the windows and doors submission, we're also expanding the front, or we're kind of shifting the front steps to accommodate the new entry door location. I think I spoke with SB
Yeah.
today. about
Is
this.
it a,
Nice to meet
it
you.
looks like you have like a screened front porch or something?
Yeah,
or-
so right now, currently, there's a screen front porch, but I'd like to capture that with glass.
So you're moving the windows forward
Correct.
and then you're
yeah.
gonna shift it over a little bit. I see.
Exactly, yeah.
Interior.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you want that to be part of this or?
Well, it'll be a separate permit, right?
Yeah,
be a
yeah.
separate permit?
Yeah.
I'll show you the plans.
These
later.
are just the windows.
Okay, so basically when it's time for the interior, you already approved it.
Oh, so we're looking at that now?
No, it's.
Yeah, we're kind of looking at it backwards, right? Like
Yeah.
approving the design modification and then approving the windows that are part of that. We're looking at the windows first and.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
okay.
and there was I think we tried submitting our plans on the portal on Monday, and I think after a conversation with SB, I think we got confused. So we ended up submitting the whole package on Wednesday. So I think that's kind of
Yeah.
why the whole thing isn't in there at once.
I have it here on OpenGov. Do you want to see those plans?
No, I mean, we're just looking at the exterior. All the windows look like they're sliders or the single hungs are.
Yeah, so I could walk you through them because I'm looking at them too here. So if you look at, I guess, the front elevation, which is labeled 33,
Uh-huh.
you compare 33 to the existing 13, which is the existing elevation below.
Mhm.
So we are keeping the same window openings on the right side of the facade going through, so that bedroom, those window openings stay the same. The front entry, we're keeping the kind of solid to void composition the same, but we're just gonna put glass instead of a bug screen. And then if you keep going left, there's kind of 2 existing openings that just look a little bit funky in my opinion. So we're changing them to more of a kind of a ribbon window that lines up a little bit better with the existing window on the right side.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, and you're not touching the roof. You're not coming in front of the roof. I mean, it's all under.
Yeah, it's all
existing
under
roof.
existing roof
So
lines. Yeah,
you're not, your setbacks, nothing that is
Cor-
jumping out.
correct.
And all-
There's,
And all the windows look like they're your combination of sliders or fixed windows with sliders next to it. So,
correct. Yeah, there's one thing I did want to point out, and I don't know if it's part of, I think it might be on the roof submission. But if the site plan, I'm showing on the site plan, I'm showing the proposed steps. Can the proposed steps encroach in a front yard setback, because I know I have a 30-foot front yard setback.
That's
and-
the area on the left that you're putting in with the new doors?
Yeah, correct. The entry door is gonna be on the left now.
How high is that off the ground?
The entry door is about 18 inches finished floor off the existing grade.
Are you in the setback? Because the area, hold on. That's the rear of the house, I'm sorry.
Here, I could.
Just looking at the survey in the package. If there is one, it's your window. So
That's. Yeah, it's, oh, I see. The steps are fine as long as it's not like,
There's also a planter though he's trying to bring out too, but
is this not the existing planter?
Oh, yeah, there you go. So that's the existing planner, and then the new one. Yes, you could see here. Below also, and the areas that have kind of helped tie in.
This proposed floor plan, is this correct? I mean, you can see it here. You can see it here.
Yeah, that's the back.
Although, but the question is he can go into the front setback with the steps.
Yeah.
As long as there's not a handrail that goes into the front.
yeah,
setback.
so
And
the
then-
steps, no issue. It was the planter that was being pushed out that.
Is there like a height limit for that plan?
It's not like 30 inches.
So you have a two-step down.
30 inches.
If it's less than 30 inches, then it's not on the
So,
setback.
okay.
And then.
That's the rule for you don't need a handrail.
And then like.
Yeah, in other cities, that's
They
what we
use the same
interpreted,
logic.
like, yeah, not in the setback, it's okay.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to have.
I think our code is
Yeah.
nondescript on that
And then I
point, but I
wanted
would
to
go with that logic.
I don't have a problem with it.
No, Scarlett was just saying in other jurisdictions, as long as it's not more than 30 inches in height, it wouldn't apply. There's a-
Yeah, I think he's about 18. He looks like he's about 18, three
So
steps.
if you're under 30, then it wouldn't be an issue.
But that would be on the,
Clear, we're voting on the windows.
Yeah,
So all that stuff has to come separately.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we don't care about the interior, but anything on the exterior would come to us.
So yes, okay, so I have to come back in 2 weeks. Well, the plans I think already have been uploaded. So I'll come back in 2 weeks and review the outside.
and they look pretty, it looks pretty standard. I mean, we'd love
Yeah.
to see you, but
I
probably
don't even
have
need
to come back.
in person, because if it's just really the planter and the.
It's
steps-
that, it's what you guys saw already, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then the rear. Okay, the rear, I could have a terrace that projects, well, it's not going into the setback, so I don't see an issue. with
Yeah,
that.
you have, unless you're all the way up against your back property line, then
I'm
you're,
not.
you're
No, I'm
fine,
not.
so.
Okay,
Motion,
thank
please.
you.
Motion to approve?
Annie,
Second,
Scarlett, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. All right, Improvement Development LLC. 740 Northeast 120th Street, new construction, first preliminary review. Do we have plans? for that?
No hard set, just the PDF.
No. this is- Hi, how are you, sir?
All right, good evening.
Good.
By the way, you're right across from him.
So this is another cul-de-sac. Oh, so you're
Corner.
not the one for the variance,
No,
No.
similar situation,
but a much bigger lot.
bigger lot and yeah, same kind of tucked in the corner.
Yeah, but this one actually has a legal lot, 150 by 95, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, so are you demoing the existing house?
Yes,
And the pool, all it's coming out?
everything's going up.
Okay. All right, so the new, you're gonna go right up to 48% of your lot coverage?
Correct.
Okay. That's including everything. I mean, right now we're looking at the,
Yeah, that'll be including the house, pool deck, the
okay,
pool, and any pavers coming into the house.
okay, so you have your 30-foot
30
front
foot.
setback. and
correct.
So are you, this site plan that I'm looking at, A1,
Yes,
are you signifying the overhangs and then you're showing the setback to the wall underneath it?
that is correct.
Okay,
So part of it is the carport. And we're combining the carport with the kind of like a cover entrance.
okay. We'll get to that in a minute, but let's just check the,
Mhm.
so you're at a 10-foot side and 10-foot rear, 10-foot other
10 foot
side,
everywhere,
and
yes.
30-foot to the wall of the building.
To the
structure.
wall of the building, yes.
Okay, because it's kind of. reads a
Yeah, the
little
red
different.
line
Look at
is the actual,
Thumbnail next to it, it's kind of helps clarify, like,
yeah, if you look at the small plan, it shows
Yeah.
you,
It's
the
just weird
actual
that they
plan.
do the overhang like that. Okay,
Yeah.
so we did the setbacks, your lot coverage. You are in zone, single family,
sector
right?
B.
Okay. Two roof levels. You have two different roof levels?
Actually 3.
Three, okay, that's good.
what's the third is in the back.
So the
Right
front
corner.
of, the main front of the house, where the main rooms are, it's the lower roof. Then you go into a middle roof that, well, actually the carport is the lower roof.
That's not part of the structure, though. Carport's not really one of the.
Okay,
it
so
wouldn't
it'll be-
Considered
it'll
part of the
be-
house.
Right,
Although in their
then
case, it's actually attached. It's not,
it's attached,
yeah,
yes.
so it's not true in our code. It's not truly a carport. Which is
Gotcha.
an attached structure. It's actually just an.
An extension of the,
eave, yeah,
got it.
extension of the roof line of the house.
okay, so then the public area is the highest roof, and then the master suite bedroom area, it has another level.
And what is that area that's the highest? That's.
It's the, where the kitchen,
Living room.
dining, living room area is.
Okay, so that's the highest and then it steps down and then,
And then it steps out a little bit where you get to the corner of the Bannister Street
got it.
towards the
And then you have
back.
like a little, like an eyebrow or something.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you meet the roof levels. It's only 16 feet high to the highest part of your roof. The other roof is 13. So now let's talk about the carport.
Mhm.
Carport law rule says 20 by 20.
Correct. So we're going out 13.7 only. And then we're doing the 20 feet wide to consider as part of the carport. Everything else is considered the, let's say, the cover entrance.
But the problem is the covered entrance part has columns in the front. And it's not technically a carport. It's part of the,
Yeah, as I say, so it's not.
it's not a
Be
carport.
bigger than 20 by 20. It's the good news. The bad news, you have to abide by the setbacks. Because now it's not a carport.
It's not a carport. It's a covered entrance.
So the carport is not allowed to have columns?
No, the carport is, but the part that's in, first of all, the carport law says 20 by 20.
If it's a
Correct.
It's
carport,
not,
right
it's
now
not, it's not a ratio. It's not like 10 by 30.
No,
It's
no, no.
20
I
by
understand.
20.
Correct.
Okay, so if you
Yes.
decide to go 13, you're only allowed to go 20 this way.
That's okay.
Okay. So the
for
part that
for that-
projects out over the front walkway is not a carport anymore.
Okay, but for the 13 feet and the 20-foot wide, I'm allowed to have columns, right? Everything
Yes.
else will have to cantilever, basically,
So
is what you're saying.
again, if it's a detached carport, you can have columns, which would comply with the carport setbacks, which are smaller
Okay.
than the main home setbacks. If it's part of the house, you can have columns, but those columns have to comply with
They have to be within the
the
setback.
greater setback of the
Okay.
house setback, which is the 30-foot, not the, whatever the carport is. So that's the issue. That's
The carport is
rub.
5 feet,
Yeah,
so,
so
But I'm looking at the plan right now. You're showing the part across the front of the house where the storage, laundry and powder at is
Mhm.
32 feet. So if you're looking at drawing A2, so right now you're saying that thing is 32 plus an additional 15. So you're asking for a structure in the front setback that's 47 feet long. It's a little longer than the carport rule.
Yeah, there's like a render on the A4 that kind of helps. I mean,
It's just, we were trying to combine the carport portion with the cover entrance. But if it needs to be detached, then well, we'll have to work it out and to be able to detach it.
the problem is even your covered entryway, those columns would have to comply because it's part of the house. They have to comply.
I get it. Okay.
I like it. I like how it looks. It's just not meeting that.
And is there any issue with that? It's just 4 columns.
Yeah, but it's a structure in front of the setback. I mean, in the side setback.
You can overhang a bit, so like the eave of that can overhang. If you can pull the columns back and just cantilever a portion.
Yeah.
I don't know how far back you'd have to pull.
Well,
them.
the house is on the setback, so
Yeah.
basically you have to be overhang. The entire structure is 13 feet long. That's not gonna happen. Not in South Florida.
What about if you detach it from the house? Gonna
That
have
will be the
look,
case.
But just detach it.
But it's still the same.
But he's still
whether
gonna
it's
have to
attached,
be,
whether the one half of it's attached to the structure or not, it's still 20 by 20.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
no, I
there's a
get
few
it.
factors
It
here.
has to be 20.
They would have to detach it
Right.
and reduce it
And reduce
to the
it.
dimension. Yes,
Right.
and you have to change the material because now if it's a carport, we only allow aluminum or canvas, not this wood trellis kind of.
It would have to be all made out of aluminum.
okay.
So there's a few compromises you have to make, whether it's truly a carport in our code or it's something else.
Could
But
it
it's
be
still, if,
aluminum
but
slats like
even,
that?
even if it's attached on one side to the structure, it's still 20 by 20 and has to do the setback. It can be 5 feet over on the one side.
Right.
And
If it's attached and it's a carport, yes.
yeah, and then that's the other thing, actually. It can't be closer than 5 feet to the front property line, which you're not.
Yeah, no, we're like at
Yeah, you're pretty
more
set
than
back there.
15 feet or more.
So I think you could have the look, it would just be all aluminum instead of, I'm not sure if that's wood, those beams or something else.
They can be aluminum too.
It would just be a smaller 20 by 20 max or 13 by 20 max.
I understand. Okay.
And then your entryway would be something else, but it would only have, it can only come out as far as the setback.
Yeah, we just wanted to keep it the, like, the
Yeah, no, it looks
like a clean line.
meeting the setback, but it's clear what you were trying to do design wise, yeah.
And it looks like you were going to continue it over to 5 feet. Yeah, the carport required 5 feet setback. So I mean, you could actually, right now you're only doing 13 feet. You could go out to 20 and make it more of a, you could actually incorporate more of the front under the law. Yeah. And then your approach, you're gonna have to like almost thread your approach between the two, which you're doing. I mean, you're not encroaching on your neighbor to the one side and the neighbor in front of you. Is that at that on drawing number 8-1? Is that the actual curve of the street way out there? Or is that the other side of the street? Because we want to make sure that this thing is actually attaching to the street. It is attaching to
Yeah, I think that's the.
the
inside.
other side,
Yeah,
the
to
other
the,
curve.
to the median or the grass, that's the line.
Okay. You actually have one of the walking paths in front of you. I don't know if you know about the village, but in the cul-de-sacs, those are 5 feet walking paths that used to exist, that they've been abandoned, but they still belong to the village, but you used to be able to walk back there a long time ago. It's a public right of way that belongs to the village. So you used to be able to, you could walk through there and go out to 6th Avenue and catch the bus or whatever. All the cul-de-sacs have them, but most people have kind of encroached on them and because they've been abandoned a long time ago by the village. No, I'm talking about the little part that's in front. It says 5 feet reserved for a sidewalk. That's. No, you don't have to create a sidewalk, but that's I'm talking about over on the right-hand side of the front, not the cul-de-sac part.
Is it encroaching in the rear, the
Yeah.
patio?
Yeah, it's got so in the back,
Yeah,
your decking could, but you've got columns again that are inside the setback, so.
and an outdoor kitchen.
And the outdoor kitchen, yes. Again, you could pull those columns back and cantilever 3 feet, but
But not the kitchen.
I mean, the deck's huge though. You could just pull the deck in. To be flush with, yeah.
I mean, you could leave the deck out,
The deck can stay out.
but
and
you just have to move the columns and the roof back to 10 foot. The deck can overhang, yeah. It's, you know, it's at grade, you know, it can go out. Yeah, what is the? So it's 16 foot overall, but you're starting at, how high off the lot there are you starting? Like, what is the current grade and what is the floodplain? 3 steps? Okay,
I mean, it's single story. It's not 16 feet. and not
Yeah.
anything great.
I mean, you can see it in the front steps walking up to the front door. That's the buildup. It would be, it would again be the handrail. You know, you'd have to creatively do, you know, you can't just have the ramp come down the front with the handrails going out to the it's a de facto fence, because, you know, it's a, but if you creatively put it like along the side, you have, you know, you see on the right-hand side, you have some steps there. You could convert that into a ramp going up the side. That's a creative way of putting it, because, you know, that's in your side setback. There's not an issue with the handrail on that side. I noticed the fence is going to be an issue in the front. You're showing a fence, like a 4-foot fence incorporating the front. So technically that is not, it is your front setback. So you're not allowed to have a fence in the front setback, even though it's in the, you're in that weird cul-de-sac.
You can have a fence in front of your house. So even though half of this house is tucked around, it's still considered the front. So you can just have the rear yard fencing.
So I would encourage, you know, use a hedge. You can use a hedge material to delineate the property. All right, any comments?
Can you just walk us through what, it's kind of rendered, and I know there are small keynotes, but what the materiality is in the front elevation? You've got like a gray material, a kind of yellowish material. So the textured concrete is the gray. Okay. Yeah. Oh, horizontal. That's the double, but the, in front of the living room, double height, yeah, not double height, but. So on, you've got like a lower eyebrow and then an upper eyebrow. And then in between that, you've got, I guess, stucco, this applied wood cladding. Clear stories in between, or? You know if they're planning on landscaping on the front of that? I mean, obviously it's covered, but it's a bit kind of brutalist right now, you know, just all this concrete and stucco.
What are you talking about in the rear?
No, the front elevation, the main elevation. In your rendering, okay. Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, yeah.
And there's no trees on the site right now? There's no trees on the site right now?
Which trees? So that's a good point.
They're not on the survey, though.
What trees are you, what are there? What type of trees and what do you plan on doing?
So for new construction, one of the requirements we have is a tree survey, so we know what's there, so provide that next time. And then obviously if there are specimen trees, you'd have to get a permit from the county.
And we also, we like our tree canopy here, so if you can spare not taking a tree down, it would be appreciated too. To help preserve, our park-like setting. Any other comments? Move this on to second review next time? Sure.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes, on the portal, I'm not sure if you saw my comment to give you the information for the meeting. I put in that the information as far as windows and doors and roof is separate. So once the final approval from our planning board is approved and you're ready to go through your MEP process, which is your mechanical, electrical, and plumbing and structural, you will then submit a separate application for your windows and doors and your roof when you have that ready.
Like any other
So-
jurisdiction, you get a master permit and then you get your sub permits for the roof, the windows, driveway. Windows.
Roof,
driveway,
driveways, all comes back to us,
anything
yes.
that's Visible in the exterior. No, that'll be one. And again, if it's per an approved, if it's consistent with what we approved, it's gonna be a pretty, straightforward process.
I mean, you could literally, if it looks like you're gonna get our approval on the third try, you could submit those same permits at the same time.
Right. So you can have that
know.
go through the whole process.
Three.
For us, none of those times. It's up to you when you feel pretty confident that you're gonna obtain approval.
Ready for
you can
review.
release Those disciplines. We're not looking at that.
We would encourage you to think about it before you spend all your money on your MAPs, and there might be a change, and then you have a, change to your contractor. Yeah, I mean, what you're proposing, you're within our guidelines architecturally, it looks good. We do have a process of 3 meetings just so that we can catch everything. You can make revisions. But I would, if that's, middle of September, end of September, you probably could get approval if everything moves forward, smoothly. So, it's not that far off.
Obviously, you have the front fence in the front yard. You can't have, you gotta deal with the carport covered entry issue, the rear setback of the terrace decking, or at least the columns and I think that was more or less the issues. And then figuring out where you want to do the accessible ramp.
I have the checklist for you in your attachments on the portal, so you can go through when it's towards the end of the review, by the time you get to your third preliminary review, your final review, you'll have everything that you will need on that.
Can I ask a question though? Your project's the one on 114th and 10th area, right? Isn't like 110, 20, 114th Street? Isn't that one of your projects on
1015?
1015?
No, that's not.
That's not theirs?
No, that's B part.
All the Royal Palms in front, you got plan approval, you got demo approval, everything, and it's just kind of sitting there with a lot of weeds in front right now. Are you planning on starting soon? That's not. I thought it was your project that it was yours.
1015 Northeast 114.
It's the one that got a variance. That's like this, but the opposite side.
Yeah, the 1015 you're talking about, no.
You're talking about something different.
Pending Derm. That's why he has.
Oh, that's why that hasn't moved forward? I thought these were the
No.
same. I'm sorry. My
What's wrong with
apologies.
that one? Because you got the variance, but you haven't come back for the fines and, oh, you submitted the.
So this was you're also the variance, the one in the other cul-de-sac,
Yeah, right on the same street, just the opposite
the
side.
upside, okay. Okay,
Well, I've one last question. I noticed on the deed, it says that the address is 730 Northeast 120th. Then why does the deed have 730?
Yeah, because I asked for proof of ownership. That's what they sent me, but I didn't look at the.
I was gonna, so they are two different properties. Okay, so you've got the wrong deed in here. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was questioning.
Oh, yeah, I missed.
Where do you even see the deed?
Because it's
Where
It's
is
on,
the
it's
deed in the-
page, here,
Oh, in the tree survey, that's the other thing. I don't have any a deed in my package. A survey.
I do.
okay. So you just have to update that as we come on.
Free.
3 of 7?
No, 3 of 14?
I have 7 pages.
So this really should be discussion.
You're right. I'm sorry. So when it's for the third, that's when
This
it's-
is the
That's
address
when it
for
comes
the
in.
company, Improvement Developer
Uh-huh.
03. That's the address for them.
Let's just make a discussion.
Okay, so it's just the company, okay. Match with the
So
house
then-
is just the legal description, not the address. Okay, okay, understood.
You need a motion to table or? not?
Well, no, because actually it should have been under discussion, so I'm moving it to discussion B on the agenda. Because we're not voting on it today. It's so we're talking about it. You got 2 more to come back. And then on the 3rd, we'll put it on the agenda for vote. Okay, thank you for your time. Wow. Anybody here for Brickell Key Estates? There we are. 885 Northeast 111th Street, windows and doors.
So, we just need to update the warranty deed and provide the tree survey.
And the front carport and the fence in the front.
We need to provide.
Rear terrace,
And the
patio setback,
Yeah, the rear terrace setback.
tree survey.
Let me know when you're ready to type.
update
Oh,
warranty deed
Ed,
and
maybe
Yes.
provide
because,
tree survey.
SB
Here's
sent
the
us
carport.
2 emails. That might be, you might have
Rear patio.
That
old
older Dropbox
ones.
link.
Yeah, because there's
Yeah, 'cause-
14 pages now.
I wonder what it is. I'll check the link.
Yeah, that might be what it is.
It needs to be in the
Why-
setback.
Yeah,
It needs
'cause I
to
have
be-
Why
7.
do I have something totally different?
Yeah. And then,
Took the later of the 2 links. I figured that was the more
but that's
like accurate one.
The later? Yeah,
Second-
I did too.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, I think I did, or maybe I took the wrong one. I don't know.
Hold
Come on,
whatever
thank you.
it is.
Good seeing you. We're doing Brickell Key. Oh, top one. Okay. How you doing tonight, sir? So you're doing 18 windows and 6 doors. They're all going to be dark bronze, sliding doors, French doors, fixed windows, casements, horizontals. Are these all the windows in the, or just the addition? All new windows.
Got a front elevation drawn. It's horizontal rollers and fixed windows.
Is that 18 windows or you have 11 windows? Is that 18 windows? Is that is that why you have 18 windows or 11 windows? Because on the list, it says it has 6 doors and 11 windows.
Hmm? It's 11 windows, not 18. Okay. Yeah,
Maybe 18 openings. If it's 11 and 6, 11 and 7.
oh, okay, okay. Okay.
Is this trellis on the original, the master plan? The trellis that's on the front left of the house? The carport? Is that part of the original plan? Sure. Looks like a carport or something.
Yes, that was always.
Okay, so
But
we,
This is for the carport, yes.
okay, so we already
It's like a
approved that.
gazebo,
Okay, we've already.
not to overdo the property.
The windows look good. Any questions?
Oh, because it was part of the master, it wasn't submitted. Oh, to sign.
Any questions on the board?
No.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right. Ed Manning, everybody say aye.
Oh.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, you're approved. Thank you. You have a question? Tar? You mean, is it pitched? I don't understand tar.
Like a modified built-up roof. Yeah, I mean, it's usually called a modified built-up roof, but yeah, we accept that. I mean, as long as it has an NOA and it's a flat roof.
We don't see it. 'cause
Actually,
it's-
that or TPO are your two options, and they're both valid roof systems.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Is there somebody, Thomas? Andino? Lake? Lake, okay,
Oh, did we have a vote on the?
yeah. It was 4-0. It was Manning, Ed,
It was me,
or Ed Manning,
Ed Manning.
Ed Manning, yeah. Lake, 926 Northeast 109th Street, New Pool. Good evening, sir.
Oh, you're not.
We have this Lake and then we'll come back. All right, so you're doing the pool survey. 24 on one side, 19 to the back. So basically, it's almost in the center of the back property. Yeah, your setbacks are fine. You've got 10, 10, 10. So you're smack dab in the middle. Your lot coverage is, you look like you're perfectly fine. Is there a lot coverage calculation here? Up here. Yeah, I mean, you have a 10,000 square foot lot, so you're definitely under your 50% and oh, here it is. 60, you're at 36. Any questions on the board?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, motion carries.
Edward, Scarlett.
Yep. Thanks, sir. Thanks for waiting.
What was the?
Sure. What was that? The next step would be, it has to go through the different trades.
It's a fence, it'll go to our
No,
building
pool.
official.
Pool.
This is 926.
Yes, 926.
It's gonna get reviewed by the building department, so the plumbing reviewer, I'm assuming structural and building. So once they've completed their review, then SB will get in touch with you to come or let you know if there are comments.
But you should be able to monitor it on the building.
Yeah, I guess you can
I'm
actually
getting
keep,
The approval now on the portal and I'm going to sign it to our structural engineer. He should review it by tomorrow, Wednesday. If he approves, it goes to our building official by the end of the week. If he doesn't, then he will put in his comments on the portal, so you can respond. Okay? You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Antoine? 1010 Northeast 121st Street. This is for a driveway, Building J. Good evening. Removal existing driveway, walkway and approach, and installation of new paver driveway, walkway and approach. Okay. It's like a tan color paver. What did I just sign?
The pool, the one you
Did I just
signed.
sign it?
No, it was another. It's not here.
So you're just basically in the front and your side setback is at 25 inches.
2.5 feet, so 30.
2.5, okay. And then you swale out, you just can't go onto your neighbor's property, you know, you have to, in the swale at the street. And then the lot coverage. We have a calculation for the lot coverage.
No, it's
No.
not in here. I mean, it should be well under, but. Oh, there is on the green space. Well, it's green space calculation. But required pervious, provided pervious.
So, yeah, so you have 40% maximum lot coverage in the front. You're providing 27.2, is that that's how I'm reading it? Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, it's kind of the reverse of what we usually see, right? So you're basically required to have no more than 40% impervious.
40.
By default is 60% pervious. So you have 72%, 72.8% pervious, which means you have 27.2 impervious. Fine. The only issue here is that it doesn't distinguish between the swale and the front yard. Yeah, it's only here that the actual sheet, like the standard boilerplate sheet in the building department, is not in this package. That's why we were asking.
So if we want to approve it based on him submitting the correct paperwork. I don't know if the board would be open to that.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
So there's an actual form that you have to fill out that has all the different calculations on it. No, that's by you. So,
Done by
Make
the
a motion.
office, as in your office, building department, yeah. So I'm gonna make a motion to approve what you presented, just pending. A motion to approve, subject to the applicant submitting the calculation sheet.
Second.
Hey, Scarlett, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Yeah, I attached it on the portal so they can complete it before the payment was made. So someone made the payment without addressing that comment, and I sent the comment again today. So, okay.
You have the one for this. Hence one. Thank you, sir. Fort, anybody here for Fort? Giron? Giron? 11020 to 22 Northeast 10th Avenue. functional gray as the walls, and then everything is gonna be white trim or natural white. Any questions on the board?
Second.
And yet, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Good. Yes. You're approved.
Yeah, I'll update it on the portal.
Process the format formally. Right tonight, yeah.
You're good.
Who was,
Manny had, I think it was.
for the Antoine?
Who motioned, Ed made the motion based on the calculations and
Scarlett.
Scarlett. Candelario? Nope. Brown? Brown, hi. 11315 Northeast 11th Place for a shed, Brown.
So pending the driveway calculations?
Okay. Okay, so you want to do a, how big, 8 by 12, so you're within the 10 by 10. And you're doing 10 feet to the one side and 5 feet to the back? So you actually have a 3 foot in the back, minimum setback. So you're at 5, so you're fine, and your size is fine. And it's just like a prefabricated shed. Like Ted shed.
Got a 15-foot utility easement in the back there.
Yeah, I mean, you're fine. I mean, the utility easements, I mean, technically they could move it if they had to come in and dig it up for some reason. I mean, that's the reason of an easement. But I don't. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that'll be all building department. They're gonna make sure it's all, wind load and all that kind of stuff. So, any questions?
Motion to approve?
Ed? Manny, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
You're good. Why is there a second thing here for Brown?
It's like the plans of the shed, maybe?
Yeah, it couldn't,
Plans.
it was locked, so I couldn't insert it in the.
Ah,
Yeah,
I
it's just
see.
the actual engineering drawings for the shed.
Okay, it's a pretty standard
Yeah.
8 foot high shed. So you're good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mandarini? Goldman? Mandarini, okay. Hello, how are you? So this is Mandarini. We spoke to her last week about her driveway. Okay, 11440 Griffin Boulevard for a driveway. So we have some shale looking gravel. Oh, okay. Thank you. Sure. Let me just look at your,
So are you removing, 'cause last time we talked, there was like some asphalt, is all the asphalt coming out now? Well, also because your new driveway doesn't follow the pattern of the old driveway, right? So just the approach is the same, and from there it's.
So you're not gonna go in the existing location like you're talking about. You're gonna go over towards your fence now. Okay, which is fine. Your calculations are not really filled out properly. It's, you know. Uh-huh. Is that how it works? Yeah. No, I mean, you have a 50-foot setback by 140, as long as you're not going over 40% of that. You know, you're fine, but we just have to have it documented, you know, how many square feet the new driveway is, which is, you know, it looks like it's 55 long by how wide? And then also, yeah. So- I don't think you have an issue with what you're looking to do, but you just have to have it dimensioned and the calculations called out on the calc sheet, which is not, I mean, you have it down as 9%, which I think it's probably a little bit more than 9%.
Yeah,
So-
it's not a question of your letters being sideways, it's that the numbers don't look correct.
They don't
Forget
look
whether
correct.
they're. Yeah. Yeah, so also your diagram is not showing the required concrete border if you're doing a gravel driveway. Yeah. It is, unfortunately, the problem is that if you don't show it on that drawing, and then your contractor doesn't know, and he's looking at that sheet, he doesn't look at that little detail sheet, and then he builds that, and then. So for everyone's best interest, we like it to be shown there so that it's clear, no mistake.
Yeah, and also you're not showing your borders.
That's what I was talking about.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She's saying like that generic handout has the different
Yeah,
types.
no.
So yes, it's there, but if it's not on the plan, it doesn't get built.
It needs to be documented on the drawing, yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, because we have to, the code requires you to have a parking surface, and that parking surface has to be defined and not just my whole front yard because I put gravel everywhere, right? So it helps define what your parking surface is. So I think there's a lot of like your drawing's missing some dimensions that you're not 100% sure you want two car, but it doesn't have the borders, the calcs are wrong. So I think what you want to do is gonna get approved, but I think it'd be best if you came back with all these little corrections. And,
So, yeah, so I mean, we're looking at the approach and the driveway. You know, there might be a code issue, which has not to do with us, about the 40% rule of the rest of the swale that's already existing. You know, because it is 40% of a driveway material. And since the gravel is the driveway material,
Is that
the
it?
rest of the right of way
Is
has
that-
to be 40%, but then it also says the other part has to be landscape material.
Well, so hers is a unique case because it's gravel, but it is also, it's not just gravel, right? It's full of cacti and other landscaping.
Yeah.
Right, so.
But we're not talking about that issue. We're just talking about the driveway, so.
Correct.
So do we want to?
I think we should take, yeah, I think we should table it and come back with these corrections and we're all sure what we're doing. and-
I mean, what you're asking is good. It's just, it needs to be more documented.
But there's no reason it won't get approved when it comes back with the corrections.
All
I'll
right.
make a motion to table till next hearing. show us the
Let's
driveway.
focus on the driveway, yeah. Motion by Ed, Manny, on favor say aye, aye.
No, I mean, we see it now and it's also a photo in here, so I think next time we don't bring it back.
I mean, it's, how big is it? Can you just see that it's less than 5/8 or?
It's fine. It's in that 3/8 to 5/8
Calculation
kind of
going on.
range.
There's no borders called out for. Thank you.
See you next time.
None of the borders for travel. All right, so we have Goldman.
With two ends.
Huh? All right, so can you tell me what your name is? Because we went through the entire agenda. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, both of them are not on the list.
Oh, so they're- okay.
They're here to go through sit through the whole meeting.
Oh, okay. Hello. Are you here for a question or are you just?
Yeah, question. Yeah,
Okay.
both of them.
Okay.
Can you speak into
Yeah,
the
can
mic?
you
I'm sorry.
And introduce yourself. This is 472 Northeast.
Numbers sounds like a non-issue, right? You're well under the lot coverage. Something like that. We hope you wouldn't, but yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm just confused. I have 472 Northeast 121st Street. Is it in the Dropbox?
It's not on.
Oh, it's not on the Dropbox. I'm sorry.
Here,
I'm
just
sorry.
use Our brains.
So your address one more time, sir. I'm sorry. Cabrera. Okay, because literally your neighbor next door is on the agenda. That's
121st, right?
like, that's what it confused me. Okay. Yes. Yes. Onto the main house? Yeah, I mean,
So from a lot coverage, it's, you're at 22,000 plus or minus, you said? Yeah. And your existing house is under 2,000 square feet. So you're gonna add a kitchen and bath. From a lot coverage, no problem. Now, if you're adding it in the front or the side, then you have potential setback issues. So you have to meet your, I'm not sure where exactly you are, what zone, but 30-foot setback in the front, 10 on the side, most likely. So. Yeah, so you're adding on the back potentially. So even less issue for the board because we care about what faces the right of way, right? So you have side setbacks, you have lot coverage. Flat roof house or it's a gable roof? Rear stories.
no, no, I mean, there's no, we use the word harmonious. So I mean, as long as it's not 30 stories, 30 feet high or something like that, and it fits within the architecture of the houses surrounding you, you're fine. You're allowed to go 2 stories and, you're allowed to do 2 stories.
As a matter of fact, we like different roof planes. So we prefer if you're doing an addition that you don't just continue with this monotonous roof line. You actually set it up slightly higher and you have a couple of roof planes. That's a good thing. Here you're getting into issues where
Yeah.
we're concerned people are putting decks on second floors and they're kind of adjacent to their neighbor's property, and then it feels like a bit of invasion of the neighbor's privacy, their pool, their kids. So we'd probably have to see it, but we're a little bit reluctant on terraces that aren't maybe kind of inward facing and buffered from the neighbor.
Or more centered in the property, you know. Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to like maybe create it so that like maybe the side that is facing the neighbor, you make a wall. And so that you can't overlook your neighbor's yard. You could maybe, three-sided, do your patio, but the one side that faces your neighbor, have a wall, so that they have privacy, you have privacy. Because they can see you like you can see them, Well, you're only allowed to have one living structure in Biscayne Park. So the second structure cannot be something they use the term abode. So it's not, an in-law suite is denotes abode. A studio, a workshop denotes you're not living in it. So you can have, something like that. But, if you wanted to make the secondary structure like part of the main structure, so it technically becomes one structure, and then if you wanted to make that part of the, like if it somehow was attached to the main structure, then you could have a living unit because it's considered part of one structure. Follow me? So,
They wouldn't allow you to have a second kitchen.
and
Even
not there because you're in a single family zone, so you wouldn't have to be able to have a second kitchen. Where in your,
Yeah, I think we would probably question the intent if suddenly there's two bathrooms in a detached workshop or,
there's a shower and
Yeah.
things, it starts to build up to abode. Yeah. So your neighbor, which is actually we're gonna be addressing next, you're welcome to please wait and we'll talk about it. That workshop, it's supposed to be a workshop. They're not, yeah, it's a studio. They're not supposed to be living in there. It's supposed to be, so it's a detached workshop, which you're allowed to have, and they have, and because you guys have such a huge lot, they were able to do it. Yeah, it's like a contemporary workshop.
Yeah. Yeah. But it is a huge structure in the back, yeah.
Yeah. So, you have a 6-foot maximum height on that. Yeah. You can grow whatever landscape you'd like at the border, at the property line. But we have a 6-foot.
So you bought the house that was in foreclosure forever. So we're neighbors. Your backyard is my backyard. Yeah, I'm on 12015 Griffin on the other side, but my backyard backs up to yours. Ours is like the mid-century modern. Yeah, yeah. So you have amazing mango and avocado trees that we don't take, but they fall in our yard because, oh no, they fall in our yard, but yeah. So that's funny. So you were neighbors. Yeah. Well, again, you'd have a rear setback to any kind of permanent structure back there. Yeah, so I was gonna say earlier, if you start adding bathrooms or, you know, any bedrooms with baths, yeah, that's more of a county thing, the septic requirement. You could get hit with requiring a larger drain field and.
So one of the things too, just to what you were just saying, you're only allowed to have one accessory structure, I believe. So the garages aren't an accessory structure, I believe. So you'd have to incorporate it or delimit.
You can enlarge the garage. So that would become one structure.
Okay, okay, I didn't realize the garage was
Another
that
detached.
close. Okay.
Yeah, so at that point, it's one single-family home structure that the garage has now been attached to via this new kitchen. And then you'd be a separate, single accessory structure somewhere else on the property.
Like a
Pergola, you can have a deck. Yeah, you can have a deck with a pergola. Again, you start getting into lot coverage areas, right? If it's an impervious, yeah.
and feet in the back, yeah. Yeah, so I'll just, just run it by you really quick. Accessory structure buildings, permitted accessory buildings, which include private garages, storage buildings, private workshops, utility buildings, and greenhouses. Shall maintain the same setbacks, 10 and 10, as the main, comply with the general standard requirements of subsection above, which means, if you're gonna build an accessory structure, it needs to relate to the structure in the front. If it's concrete, make it concrete, they have to relate to each other, material wise. Cannot be used for a place of abode, since no living in it. And then you cannot be more than 30% of your rear yard, which you have such a huge yard, you can't go over 30% of the lot coverage. Yeah. So, and yeah, and then yeah, that's fair enough. That's it.
Right? I don't know what it is. Yeah, so you also have in the future the right to build towards the front too, because you're quite set back.
More than 50%?
No, the front setback.
I'm sorry, 50 feet? He's on zone
I
A.
don't know, but it looks quite far. It's a very deep front yard. I don't think they're 50 on that.
Yeah, you might be actually in zone,
Yeah,
you're in zone B, so you have a 30-foot front
30,
setback. Mhm. As long as you don't go over the 40% rule of your front yard, which it seems like you have a huge front yard. The windows, as long as they match, same style, same color. Yeah. We're mainly concerned with the windows that face the street, the windows in the back, we're not so concerned about, but really want to keep a uniform front facades. Yeah. Mhm. like a screen.
Breeze block.
That becomes a wall, really, and it's in the front. I mean, it's a structure. You can't, yeah. We don't allow walls or fences in the front setbacks. Really, in the front of the building.
If it was somehow like integrated.
If
with
you
the
could integrate it
house,
into the house and make it so that it comes out from the house and, you know, you stay within if it's attached to the house with a, you,
a little rock garden behind it, but you go around it to enter, that's one thing. But just sitting out in the front yard would be. No, that's generally for new construction. They're gonna demolish the home and do brand new home. We require 3 reviews. If you're doing just a small addition or just an accessory structure, it's probably a single review, but.
Yeah. Well, is the house livable? I mean, you can live in your house if you. Yeah. Yeah, I would suggest that you just maybe before you go through the entire drawing set, come in with a plan, show us what you want to do, some sketches or, a basic floor plan, maybe or an elevation or something like that, and run it by us before you get so deep into it. It's, we meet every 2 weeks, so it's easy to. Yes. But again, if you wanted to make it part of the main structure, you could, there's just can't have a kitchen. Thank you. All right. You're not on the agenda tonight. So it's another walk-in. Thank you. Hello, sir. How are you tonight? N- 119th? 19th? Okay.
What's your name? UB? ALBO, and your last name? LLIO? ON. Oh, Castellone.
1090 Northeast 119th Street. I got that right? Okay. Sure. So do you have a survey or something that we can look at, or? Here, what? So are you looking to do a pool like in the area between the house and Northeast 11th Avenue? The back. Okay. So you basically have 118 feet at one point, and then it gets narrower down to like 8 feet around. Yeah, 8 feet. So just describe, or I guess you have the papers here. Okay, so you have a 10-foot setback here. Okay, there's a 10-foot, which it almost appears that you're, yeah. That appears that almost be, that might actually be in the setback actually. If this is 18. And that's 20, and that's 10, oh, that's 10 feet, okay. So you have a 10-foot setback there. So the pool would be, you would have to get a variance for there. And then you also have this, you have 24 feet between your side and the property line on the 11th Avenue side. So those are really your areas for having a pool. So you would have to get a variance. If you would have to request a variance if you wanted to put a pool.
It will be small, like right here.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
But I didn't want to put anything here because I like all the trees I have. And I know if I put the pool right here, I'm
Yeah, you'd have to have a fence over here, which you're allowed to actually have a fence. I mean, you have 25 feet. So you could actually, you're allowed to incorporate up to 22 feet of your yard in a 4-foot fence. But you're not allowed to put a pool there because it's a structure. So you have, you basically are looking for a variance for the setbacks. Okay, so if you wanted to put the pool back here, you would have to ask, and if it's gonna encroach closer than 10 feet to the property line, you would need to request a variance. So, well, that's the thing. You have to ask for variance. You have to show that you have a hardship. You have to meet a multi-point points. Basically, you have to convince us that you have no other option to put your pool, which you don't. So pools and corner lots, we always deal with it because corner lots don't have any room for pools. So we have people asking for variances all the time. Generally, they do get approved. It's not our decision. It's the commission that makes the decision. We make a recommendation. But basically what you would do is you would ask for the minimum. You know, like I want to have a 5-foot fence, 5-foot pool, and I want it 5 feet from the property. So I'm asking for a variance to go 5 feet into the property. And then you have to make your case basically. So I would suggest that you make the minimum that you want to ask. Like if you could get away with, you know, like 5 feet from the house and 8-foot wide pool, you know, it's 13. So you're only 7 feet to the property line. You know, over here, you know, we've had people put pools in the sides and get variances for them. Roughly, you know, they try again to make it the minimum. You know, you don't want to seem like you're you know, over asking for a variance because you're asking for an exception to the code. So you do have a very good case because people with corner lots have them. Does anybody have a pencil? I don't want to write on your thing. Yeah, so I mean, you would probably want to ask for, you know, a rectangular pool, you know, somewhere in this area, whatever you want to do. But then you would ask for a variance because right now the code is 10 feet. So if you wanted to make this pool closer, you would ask for a variance to that. Also, you know, you have a, well, that's, is there a code to the building, how close a pool can be to a house?
I think in single family, no.
No.
Public pools, you have a minimum 4-foot walkway around the pool, 100%. I mean, you know, some houses have pools that go inside the house from outside, so.
So you can get close to your house. I mean, that you might want to consult your engineer and stuff.
Yeah.
As far as your foundation goes, but you know, you could ask for like a lap pool that's long and narrow. You do have. Is yours like a Spanish style house? Is it one of the Spanish style houses? Because you have a 20. You're showing 24 feet on that side and the setback is 30 feet. So you would actually be asking for a variance to go into that. If you went past the corner of your house, you'd be asking for a variance that direction. We'll see. So let me just, here, I'm going to do this. So the way this house is you have a 30-foot setback here. And then you have a 10-foot here. Okay. So you really have this little tiny envelope of legal land to put your property right now. So if you wanted to go this way or that way, you're gonna have to ask for a variance. You understand? So if you're more than 30, closer than 30 feet to the front property or the side property line and 10 feet to the back property line, this is your legal area right now, this area right here. So any way that you go that direction or that direction, you need to ask for variance. So we have a variance packet. I think it's on the website. You can download it. You can look at the questions. Basically, you have to come up with, that there's circumstances affecting the property that'll deprive you of use of your property, reasonable use, which this, again, corner lots, the variance is necessary for you to enjoy your property. That the granting variance will not be detrimental to public welfare. That's pretty easy. The variance proposes the minimum variance. Yeah, this is the variance. This is all information's on the website. So what you'll do is you have to answer all 4 of those questions and you have to make it so that you're convincing us that those 4 points. Okay. And then, like I said, people have asked for corner variances for pools before and they've been successful. I just, hearing the arguments of the commission, I would just try and be minimum. Say, I want to have a pool that's 10 by 15 for my kids, and I need to go 5 feet to the back property line or something like that. And it's not gonna.
What's better, to get closer to the neighbors or to get?
Well, you want to have something to be able to walk. You want to be able to walk around it. Are there any windows or doors right there? Here, I think that's yours. Are there any windows or doors like between the house? So you're not. Okay. I mean, you probably want to have a little space between that pool and your house. The commission recently approved somebody, similar situation. They got 5-foot setback in the back. They were successful in getting the commission to approve that. Again, it's case by case. I'm not saying that because they got it, you're gonna get it, but it has gone through before. So if you, so like somebody just got 5, you might be able to convince them that you have the same argument. So yeah, you could start 5 and then have you're 20 feet there. So you could have a 10-foot set pool and then a 5-foot between the pool and the house. Is that got a roof on it or is it just, okay, so that's where you're gonna start getting probably a little complicated because you're asking to put a roof structure in that setback. It's one thing to have a pool that's underground, because nobody's gonna see it, but when you. Well, you're gonna be, I mean, you're able to put a 6-foot fence. So you can have a 6-foot fence here, but it has to be 7 feet from the property line. So this is 6 feet high. So you could have a privacy fence there. Legally. So no, the property line. Everything's from the property line, not the street. So you could have a 6-foot fence already legally. Right now, you could do it according to our code. So, that would provide you privacy for it. But, if you wanted to do your barbecue, I would consider maybe doing it closer to the house in this shaded area that I made. That's where you might start running into a little resistance if you. Yeah.
Does it have to be like an actual fence or does it have? Is he supposed to put something?
You have to have a barrier for the pool for safety. You have to have an actual fence. And that would have to be, you'd have to get that permit and installed prior to the pool being completed. So I would suggest that you go and think about what you want to do and just come back with that survey with a writing on it where you want to put the pool and talk to us at the next meeting. And then we would say, okay, you're on the right path, because we like to guide people through it so that you're not like spending a lot of money on drawings and then find out you can't do it. So it's better to come do like steps with us. Come back the next time with something on the plan or what you want to do. And then we'll say, okay, that looks good. I guess you would have to apply for a permit. So you have to do it online, yeah. But, yeah, because what happens is the process is you apply for a permit, we deny it, and then you apply for the variance. And then you start the variance process. But let us walk you through it. So think about what you want to do based on this conversation, and then come back to us next time and you're up. And just do us a favor, just get on the agenda though.
Yeah, that's what I just
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. Do we have something?
I would have
I
to
think there
ask-
is something in our code
I
for,
think so. I would have to ask,
we have something where they give special rates or they waive fees or something like that for certain things. I don't know. That off the top of my head, I don't, I'm not really, we're not involved in the fees part. Yeah, so there probably is something in our code where they waive fees for certain things. So, but that would just be,
yeah.
reach out to SB and she can.
When you send the application, remind me to ask about that.
Would it be on Muni code? There's a thing called Muni code, which is it's a code library that actually might have something in there on their fees. This part. Permit fees. Not showing up. Building permit fee. Yeah, there might be something, but I would just recommend that you speak with SB and, because I know they passed some fee exceptions. The commission recently did that. Okay, thank you. Thanks for waiting. Yep, thank you, sir. All right. Back up to the agenda. We have the minutes from August 8th, 2022. We got a lot of stuff done last week. 2 tables. 3 approved.
Only comment I have is there were a couple of approvals that were like approval contingent to but I don't, nothing necessarily in the minutes about it. I'm assuming they got taken care of. But like, G, the EAA repairs for the patio slab, it was contingent on them providing corrected lot coverage calculation. A, demolition was contingent to removal of driveway asphalt encroaching into adjacent property. They were gonna update their drawing. That was just the only two, but
Hold on, what was the first one?
the first one was A, Sabate or Sabate,
Oh,
where there was a demolition permit. And we approved it, but we reminded them that it was contingent to them removing the asphalt portion that encroach into the adjacent neighbor's property. This is the lot split, guys. And then G, the patio slab, it was approved but contingent to them providing corrected lot coverage calculations.
Okay, so yeah, it says pending updated lot coverage calculation.
Oh, it does have
It
it.
does say that on G.
Okay.
A, we should add removal of. So G actually does say
You're right, yeah.
pending update lot coverage calculations.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you got those yet or not.
Oh, okay.
And then A, we were saying removal of asphalt in right away. So just add that wording to it. Okay. Any other?
Motion to approve as amended?
Ed? Annie, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so you're just gonna add that wording to, okay. Next would be Lawner, 645 Northeast 114th Street, windows and doors.
It's not on, it's an old business. I think it should be there.
All 11 impact windows and 3 doors. Remember why we tabled it
I don't know,
last time?
it says will provide letter for denial to change windows.
That was the first, that was the most recent because they didn't, because of the windows weren't the same from the first 2 times that it's.
Oh,
been
this is the letter that you provide,
Yeah.
sorry. That's the letter you wrote up. I think this is the folks that they released their windows, then they had to change them, and then they asked for your help to get money back from their contract or something like that, and you gave
Yeah,
them
this
that.
is the one that Commissioner, forget his name, came in and spoke on his behalf. But I don't see why this is any different. Opening 1. Number 2 is
And
horizontal
and
roller.
I have expressed for them to come to the meeting, either the owner or the representative, all the time. They have not.
Yeah, number 12 is horizontal roller, and number 13 and 14 are single hung. So it's exactly the same. There's nothing changed here. So we're just denying this again. This is
told
the one
them-
I actually wrote a letter. to 'em.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
brought in, they said that they're changing the changes. They called and I told them, listen, you brought this in, it's been denied 3 times. Come to the meeting, explain what are you changing, what are you trying to do?
I see the same windows on the front. There's nothing changed here. Motion to deny, I guess. They
Motion
haven't
to deny.
changed it. That's the same
Yeah,
thing
no,
that
I
we've
see,
already
it's still
denied
the same
once.
thing.
So, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we're denying it again. Next to be Sanchez, 925 Northeast 117th Street for a driveway.
It was Edward and
Scarlett, but and I seconded.
So we. Why did,
I think because they have right now, their full right of way, a swale was all gravel.
Yeah.
So we asked them to confirm that that would be removed and replaced with grass.
That's what it says here, remove
Yeah.
of gravel and
That's why
replace
they
with.
had to come back to us for that?
Yep.
Yeah, it was tabled.
Okay. I guess we just wanted it in writing that they were gonna do that.
Yeah, I think that was the question, was it was all gravel.
What's
So-
the picture of the pool about?
Oh, yeah, this was the one that the last time I was like, I think that's the style they want for the
For the
driveway.
Okay, guess that's what it's fine.
Okay, they gave us the information. Motion. Manny? Second. Ed, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Um. Next would be Thomas, 890 Northeast.
Candela.
Candela?
Oh, sorry, yeah, Candela, 472 Northeast, 124th Street, interior, exterior remodeling.
Whoa. Getting hyper modern.
Okay, so this is where I wish we had big drawings because it's. Are they taking down? Okay, hold on, let's just look. Here's the existing. So let me give you a little history on this. This house, I don't know if these are the same owners. I'd have to look at the tax rolls on it, but like 10+ years ago, they came in, they were gonna had plans to replace the entire house with a big master bedroom and the studio in the back. It was all contemporary, whatever, but they didn't want to do it all at once. They wanted to do it in phases. So they came in and they applied for the studio. We approved it, but we based it and said, you need to finish the rest of the house. Well, they never came back to finish the rest of the house. So it looks like they're now coming back to do the rest of the house, or I don't know if is this a tear down or is it
It seems like it.
because it says interior exterior remodeling. I couldn't figure out if this was. So I wish they would be here to talk to us about it, because this would actually be considered a 3-point review, wouldn't y'all think?
Yeah, I mean, it's a
This is like a whole new thing here. This is not
all
just,
new, very modern.
there's no windows on the front.
What is the front? I can't even.
Proposed front elevation north, there's literally a door. And there's nothing else. Left elevation. Like even the first page, SP1, they have a rendering, it looks like of the rear of the house, but there's nothing that shows the front of the house.
I think that's probably deliberate.
It's this,
I suspect it's because, a lot of people on 121st, like the gentleman that was here earlier that wants this breeze block to screen his view of, apartment buildings across the street. So they probably want a solid front elevation with a door.
yeah. I mean, they're new townhouses. I mean, how bad do they look?
It's
I mean,
just-
they're relatively 10 years, I think.
Yeah, it's not single family, right? So
And they have a lot of landscaping in front of this house. So first of all, we'd have to make sure, confirm that the studio in the back is still a studio and not any type of living facility back there. Actually, that was, now that I remember it, okay. That was the thing, is that they were gonna build the back, move into the back and tear down the front.
Okay.
And we were like, they wanted to move into it and and that was what it was we said, well, you can't have the back structure and the front structure at the same time and live. You can't have two units.
Yeah.
So the permit is that they were gonna build the back and then tear down the rest and then eventually rebuild it. So I don't know if they ever, whatever happened with building or whatever at the time, if that back structure is a livable unit or not, or if it actually is I think it was supposed to be a photo studio.
I mean, I don't know the ins and outs. From our yard, you can see it, and it definitely has the big photo umbrellas and, equipment for a
Inside.
photo studio.
Yeah.
For sure is going on in there. If they're also I don't know. But
Yeah.
definitely being used at least partially as a photo studio.
Yeah, and that's, they're well within their rights too. So
I'm trying.
this looks like a brand new house. I don't see remodel anywhere here.
SP2 is a survey of the existing, right? Like, I don't understand the difference.
Why is there two surveys? Yeah.
I don't quite follow
Oh,
what I'm looking.
proposed site plan, existing site plan. So does that not look like that building is different than the building on the left?
A little bit. I mean,
It's,
maybe
the front is different.
very challenging to.
They need to come up, they need to bring it up to the current setback
Yeah,
if
like
they're gonna do all this.
extending that 8.2 setback forward a little bit, which they can't do. Right?
37.7. It's extended in the back. This is like, I would wish that they would have come and talked to us because it actually even says on the one on the right, it says 1-story resident number 472. Isn't this supposed to be a new 2-story structure here?
Yes.
There's a second story here.
Yeah.
So I wish they would have come and presented this to us. We're not gonna vote on this today.
No. And it's also like the site plan it's a survey, not a site plan. And so it's really hard to understand what the setbacks are, what's existing, what's not. I mean, it looks like from the renderings that nothing is existing, but
I mean, the drawings are done by an engineer.
site plan looks like a survey, right?
Yeah, it is a survey that it's like, I mean, literally it says 1-story residence.
And the
So I would like,
driveway is basically got no setback. Right? There's no 30-inch setback from the side of the property line.
No.
So it's existing, I guess. So if they're not touching it, then
Also, does the shed count as an accessory structure?
I think you can have a shed separate.
yes, yeah, as long as it's a shed, not like an accessory structure.
So can we just, again, it's a multi-review process. Can maybe SB reach out to them and say, hey, the board had a number of questions. We recommend someone attends the next hearing to.
Yeah, so I would just say, let's table this right now. And this is not even considered the first review. This is just tabling. They need to come back in and do a presentation to us because this is new construction. This is not a remodel. I mean, they might be using some of the interior walls or something, but they're putting a 2-story structure on here. And I have a lot of the concerns that I do with the other item on 109th Ave Court. These are a lot of sheer vertical walls right on the setbacks that are 27 feet high. So let's have the conversation with the the architect. Also, let's a clearer site plan. We might as well start off with a clearer site plan. Wow, that's a lot of grass to mow. Is the house on the other one? Is that the old Harvey built house? Or is that the other way?
What's a
The
Harvey?
one that, the gentleman that was here, is that the white house that's in the front, that there's no landscaping in the front?
The one that was,
It was here before, previous, next door to this.
yeah, it's the one that was in foreclosure.
It's like a white ranch. It's set way
Yeah,
back.
it's set way back. It's got some like a red door maybe, but it's been boarded up for as long as I've lived here.
Yeah.
Because it was in foreclosure forever.
So motion to table.
Yeah, motion to table and next hearing, it should be under discussion. right?
Discussion.
Not under-
Second.
Scarlett, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, now we'll go on to Thomas, 890 Northeast 118th Street for a fence. Fence, it's in the back. Replace section of fence with similar style of new fence. Well, what is the existing fence?
A little small thumbnail of it, just a board on board wood.
How high is it?
Survey, the existing is 6 foot.
I mean, if you want to make a motion that it's board on board with 6 foot high max. Because it's in the back, it's
Yeah,
all
I mean,
behind, so.
that's what it seems to be they're doing, so.
Motion to approve board on board 6 feet high max.
Second.
Favor say aye. Aye. Carries. Okay, next,
Edward?
yeah. Next will be building Andino, 907, 909 Northeast 111th Street fence.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. It's the AC air.
Oh, do we allow aluminum like that?
Who made the motion to table?
Yeah,
Ed,
you can have aluminum.
Okay.
Yeah, what was the question?
are you talking about the Candela? It was
Yeah.
Ed and then, I'm sorry, I don't remember who. Second.
I think Scarlett seconded.
Yeah.
Tabling.
6 foot high Dura fence. Yeah, you can have that. What color is it?
White, I think I saw.
Just look like metallic.
What's up with that? Those
Very bottom.
chain link posts there. So they're 6 foot high. They're with, the setbacks are fine. Yeah. Guys do.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. Again, I guess it's a duplex, so they're like subdividing the rear yard,
Yeah.
Right.
but. I don't see a color, but. It looks like white picture.
The picture shows white.
Fair motion.
Not yet. Waiting.
Second.
Manny? Ed Manny, or Ed Scarlett. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Next will be building K. Fort, an addition. Wow.
Says enclosed.
11001 Northeast 9th Avenue for addition. Close existing covered patio.
Yeah, and it's all in the back.
Um, thing that caught my attention on this one was that if you look at the elevations, drawing number A3. The middle drawing, what is all that flat roof on the right-hand side? It looks like it goes all the way over.
It's a carport. Look at the next page on A4. They've got an existing carport on the left-hand side of the house.
Yeah, but if you, okay, so look at that. Look how wide that thing is.
It does look big. I mean,
And then
there's
you
nothing
look,
to
and then
mention.
go back up to the survey and it's like, well, hold on, what is that?
Well, let's look at the. see if we can find-
I mean, I know it's not what we're considering, but it just seems a little weird, the drawings. That A4 drawing compared to the survey seems a little off.
Looks like they do have. It's probably no bigger than 20 by 20. It's a little weird though, because it's not on the side of the house. It's kind of on the front of the house. I don't know if the plan drawing is just kind of a poor representation. 'Cause if you Google Street View, there's a carport, but it's
Yeah,
in the front. It's not on the side of the house like that.
I think it goes down a little bit. If you look at the survey, it looks like there's a little bit of a down there, but you know, it looks like a typical Biscayne Park duplex with a hip roof on each end and a hip roof going the other way in the middle. But then it has a carport, which the survey shows it speckled, and then on the side it shows it speckled. But it's that A4 or the A3 elevation that just seems
But
odd.
again, the survey is consistent with Street View.
Okay.
The plan
A4.
A4 and even, yeah, and then A4 doesn't represent anything in reality, so. I don't know.
Yeah, I actually looked it up on Street View because I was like, something doesn't look
Yeah,
right.
Street View matches the survey, so I don't know what this.
And the funny thing is if you look at it, there's actually, if you look at the A3, there's actually a plant in the middle of that looks like a roof structure or something. Very odd, that middle drawing. But the addition on the back is what they're here for, and it looks like that's what they're calling the rest of it existing.
Yeah, I mean, they all just didn't need to show that carport at all in that A4. It's not really.
Should we ask for well, do we care about the drawings? It's existing.
Someone who just wasn't familiar with what the carport actually looked like and just knows there's one there and just kind of threw something that depicts a carport, but not actually in the right position or shape or size. But it wasn't germane to what they were drawing, so.
So I think the addition, what they want to do is fine. It's in the back.
Yeah, I would make a motion to approve them. Or representation.
Ed then Manny, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, building M Candelario, 11221 Northeast 11th Place, and this is for re-roof flat.
Sorry.
Yes, okay, yeah, so it's just in the back. Main roof is not flat.
Flat to flat. Yeah, it's all in the back. So,
And it looks like. but these, tarp roof conditions, at least from the property appraiser aerial photo. Hopefully they've resolved that. Judy doesn't have to. Motion to approve.
Second.
Ed Scarlett, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Carries. All right, Goldman, 11950 Northeast Sixth Avenue, new metal roof. Okay, let's see. pay for it.
So I noticed that SB, it still has like not the latest version of this diagram that asks for photos and proof. It just has this I acknowledge language that someone added. So we're not, still not using the one that requests photos.
I updated it on the checklist. That from-
I just, yeah. Is anybody, is there a picture?
Yeah, trying to look it up now. I mean, there's definitely overhangs. They look like they're sufficient. Quite. Definitely has overhangs. It's not a.
I mean, I could see just a little part of the house right there.
Yeah, I mean, you can, on Street View, you can get a pretty good. Van. You gotta move past
Oh,
that.
there it is, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a typical ranch with the big overhangs.
Yeah.
What's the color? Do we have a color?
Yeah, they left the color out on the chart, on the
Says there.
handout.
Gray, slate gray.
Gray color,
Yeah, gray's a color.
approved color.
It's standing seam. So it looks good. I mean, I think we could go ahead and approve it. I just that the next time we really do need to get pictures so that they can prove that they do have the overhangs and the fascia. That's what you have in the new language, right?
Yeah, and then the last one I sent, I don't know if SB want me to forward it to you again, or if you got it.
No, it's on the checklist. I'm
Yeah.
not sure where he got that one from.
Second.
Okay, Manning, Ed, all they say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, so discussion. Window codification with Ahmed.
So yeah, Mac asked us to consider providing some formal language to actually codify what we ask applicants to do with respect to the windows. I have to say, I did kind of struggle with this. You know, it seems like straightforward, but I found it a little bit difficult to say what it is we want, you know, which is that we don't want them to mix types, but I felt like it had to be more code speak than that. So I kind of struggled. So if anyone's got a better suggestion of how to convey it, because just saying we want it to be consistent and harmonious, we know what we mean, but it's not clear to them. So somehow we need to be a bit more explicit about the expectation. But
So is that,
hitting the mark.
are those the only window types, the horizontal rollers, casement windows, and single hung?
Yeah, I mean, I guess there are picture windows or fixed windows that don't,
Oh.
you know,
Isn't that a casement
well, casement's operable, right? Actually open.
or fixed? Okay.
Yeah, so there's also fixed.
Do we want it, what do we want to say?
I mean, I feel like we should just be saying no single hung windows in the front, because that's really what it comes down to, right? Like, we never have a case where it's a whole bunch of single hung. It's always that it's a horizontal roller or
Yeah.
fixed, and then there's that little bathroom in the front that has the single hung that we don't like. I don't know how to convey this in a way that is very explicit about what we're asking, but it's simple at the same time. And like my house, it has a combination, right? Because the windows are big enough that it's got rollers and there's a mullion that's a break, and then there's like a clear story.
got
so
a
that it's
clear
not
story,
over
yeah.
here. So seems
But
like it should be a simple task, but I really struggled with.
If somebody wanted to put all single hung in the front, then that would be okay?
In theory, just it never happens because no one has a bunch of little small windows in the front.
These bigger windows too.
Yeah, I mean, they could be like to a certain size, right? So a 3 foot wide, let's say, by a 5 foot tall, maybe that would work.
Yeah, I think
But
that's
then
what I
you get a
have.
wider window.
I
you're
think
not
that's what I
gonna-
have.
Yeah, but you only single hung.
Yeah, in the front.
So I guess it happens.
All the-
It's usually just that what we get a lot is that it's mostly horizontal roller and there's not like one single hung.
So it's not that we don't want to have single hung, we just don't want to.
We don't want the mixture, right? And it's kind of like we want vertical or horizontal, but not mixture.
Right.
The other stuff, like
Should we,
added the language about NOA because I copied that from what we say about metal roofs. And then the colors, it's pretty basic, white, bronze, silver, or black, are really all, unless you're gonna pay through the teeth to get custom, that's what you're gonna get.
The question I had about B, oh, it should be C actually.
should we just say something like, sorry, what was that, Scarlett?
The last paragraph, the third one, you put the colors, but it specifies only aluminum. windows?
Yeah, because, there are NOAs for solid wood windows. Those are very expensive windows, so I don't know how many Biscayne Park residents are gonna be installing it, but there's an NOA for that.
Okay.
So in B, I said it can be aluminum or wood with an NOA. But then C for colors, the colors really only apply to the aluminum.
Aluminum, okay, okay. Just get it. Okay.
So on that color thing right now, wouldn't, okay, it maybe on the one that says, well, A, B, B, you say it twice, B twice, actually.
Oh,
Should
sorry.
be C.
C, my bad.
It should just say aluminum windows shall be limited to colors, white, bronze, and,
Yeah, the color thing is weird, but again, I took that from the roof language.
yeah,
The
it should just say aluminum windows shall be limited to colors, white, bronze, silver, or black.
I don't disagree. Again,
Okay.
I verbatim, the roof one says the color of metal roofs shall be limited to the colors X, Y, and Z.
Yeah,
So I just took the same verbiage, but it's
Yeah.
not very elegant. I agree.
and then exterior doors and windows should.
I also limited under C, the colors to the windows only because we tend to have like be open to front doors that are yellow or pink or blue. So I didn't mention doors in that. I just mentioned windows.
What if somebody had a wood window? Would we want to limit the colors to white, bronze, silver, or
Again, the only.
They might
thing
wanna
I've-
stain it.
Wood frames, yeah, they're usually like Ipe or teak or Merbau. There's only a limited woods that they might be, but they're not impact. No,
I think these are impact.
Really? Yeah. So maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I didn't bother with the wood color because they're usually just
Stain.
stain of some type. Anyways, I thought it would be a simple little exercise, but I found it not as simple as I anticipated.
Also, the information sheet, it doesn't have the color information.
Yeah, and actually, because I had created this previously.
Oh.
And proposed it as a solution to our problem, which is just put it in the handout.
Right.
And then Commissioner Kennedy said, oh, can we codify it? So then I was coming up with this, and I just said, hey, even if we do that, I still think we should do this because no one looks at Unicode, but they do pick out the handout.
Yeah. But I think that color information.
But yeah, we could put the colors in here too.
So let's talk about that first line. Exterior doors and windows shall be consistent. Shall be of a consistent. Shouldn't it say something like be of a consistent style?
Yeah, I put consistent in style and type, but you could remove the in and do of a. Right?
Yeah, consistent style. And do we want to say style and color or what is type? What
Well,
exactly is
type? Is we don't want a single hung with a horizontal roller. That's what it comes.
But isn't
down
that style?
Well, so really it's type. I mean, that's a window type. A casement is a type. Horizontal roll is a type, right? Style, I was thinking more like, I don't know, some people want to do applied muntins. So you don't want to have one that's applied muntins and then one that's just a pane of glass because that's two different styles.
So, but should we say then style, comma, type, and color?
Sure.
So that we know that limits it so that they all have, because right now it doesn't say that it has to, they have to all be one or the other colors.
Yeah, I got it. So exterior
Style,
doors and windows
type.
shall be of a consistent style, type, and color.
Color. Then we should say something along the lines, window types shall be limited to horizontal rollers, casement, fixed, and single hung. We should call out what type of windows are that are.
Yeah, I mean, but then that's, the whole idea is that you don't want to mix those.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying, then the next sentence will be horizontal rollers and single hungs shall not be mixed or something like that.
Although it's actually like horizontal roller, fixed casement, all those are okay. So they're a group, they're a family, can't be mixed with single hung.
Yeah, but
Because those we don't mind if someone has a picture window with a horizontal roller with a casement on one elevation, that's all fine. It's the minute they have that and they introduce the single hung that we get.
But then sometimes we have people that have picture windows with single hungs on each side.
Yeah, so this is not that easy, is my point.
No, but my point is I think the two things that we run into is the vertical and the horizontal.
Okay.
Horizontal, vertical, sorry. So we should just call out that those two window types shall not be combined. Horizontal rollers and single hungs shall not be combined.
But casements with either of those are.
Yeah, because they're basically, you can have, a picture window with a single hung next to it, or a picture window that's operable is a casement window.
Okay, so we fixed the first sentence, and the second sentence, you just want to say horizontal rollers and single hung window types.
No, I think that we should have the first sentence. The second sentence, we should call out what type of windows are approved.
Okay, which is, I mean, that's basically any
Type of windows will be horizontal rollers, casement, fixed, and single hung. Hung, period.
horizontal roller, fixed. Basement. But you want to say what approved window types
Yeah.
are? Okay, so approved window
Or just,
types include fixed, horizontal roller, casement, and single hung.
I think the way you would want to read it would be, Scarlett, you should know this better than I do. It would be like, window types shall be limited to, is that correct, Scarlett?
Yeah.
Like window type shall be limited to horizontal, casement, fixed, single hung. Because what you're doing is you're limiting it down. You're just kind of like saying,
Yeah.
okay, now we're gonna narrow it down, and then the
So
next
window types
sentence
shall
would be,
limited to fixed horizontal roller, casement, and single hung. And then you want to say horizontal roller and single hung.
styles, types shall
Types.
not be combined
uh,
on the front, on the street facing
Street
facade.
facing elevation. Right, which is what I have already, but
Yeah.
so now I'm just limiting that last part to horizontal roller and single hung window types.
Yeah, because we have people that, they put single hungs on the bathrooms, on the sides.
Yeah. No, it's just, yeah, it's got to say street because that's all we care
Street,
about.
just street.
So single hung, not be combined, not mixed.
And then we should have something on the next, like, on maybe C, like the first sentence saying, something that they basically have to be the same color. Windows have to be the same color. Aluminum windows are limited to these
We
colors.
did say that in A. We said.
It does?
Yeah, because you said you added the
Style, type,
consistent in
and
style,
color.
type, and color, right? So
Yeah.
we covered it there.
Is that consistent? Is that would limit, that's enough wording to limit that somebody can't come back and say, oh, well, gray goes with brown and.
Hey, I mean, have you ever had in all your 20 years that
No.
problem here? Yeah, so it's probably not and there's some teeth in here to say that's not consistent.
Yeah, I just want to make sure you know that.
The window types, are we missing, are we falling in a pitfall that someone's gonna have a very valid window and we're gonna say it's not like, there's fixed, there's horizontal roller, there's casement, there's single hung. Is there something that we're not, is the,
Well, it's funny, I have, I bought another house and, it has those Miami shutters on them.
jealousies?
But they're metal. And I thought about that. I'm like, oh, I wonder if we would allow that in Biscayne Park because it's technically, it's a shutter. It's not actually, they're not actually,
I'm just
not a
nervous that
window,
we
it's a
have
shutter.
this little limited window types and we're gonna like stumble upon oh shit, that window's clear for it, right? That's really a fixed window, but it's,
It is a fixed window.
yeah. Okay, well, I'll edit this for next time. If someone thinks of a window type we're missing, flag
Yes.
it so we don't.
Okay. But thanks for doing that. And,
I'll
Yeah.
send SB another version to.
yeah, it's funny because
everyone
when
to review next time.
we had the code review board, we would sit there and go, "Okay, how do we word this?
Yeah, I really thought it was gonna be simple. It's really bothering me. Try to figure it out. All right. let's get out of here.
Do we have anything else?
Yes, so as you know, our village clerk, she wants to get ahead on dates. So, we wanted to confirm for October, well, for September, we have September 12th. And for the next, planning board meeting, and we have September 26th, being that the Labor Day weekend, September 5th. So we're gonna have kind of like a 3-week, like a 3-week gap from now.
I'm sorry, say that again.
September 12th is our next planning board meeting because of the Labor Day.
Except for technically, we're all here next week. For our second-
Yes, we have a special meeting. Yes. I
Yes.
have to send that agenda on Wednesday to you guys, but it's basically a short agenda. The manager will attend the meeting as well. He'll be here. I'm not sure if I will be here. 'cause I-
By the way, remind the manager that we'd like to see everything prior to, if we're gonna be looking at, comp plan stuff, we
Right.
need to be looking at it, not just
Yeah.
reviewing it in the
Get it in
moment.
front of him, yeah.
Yeah, like literally, if
I'll
they're,
let-
if they're expecting us to actually vote on stuff, we need to have some time to look at it
Yeah.
prior.
I'll remind him tomorrow about that. Actually, the village clerk wanted me to ask him about that. We were extremely busy today. So for October, we have October 17th and October 31st. November, we have November 14th and November 28th for those dates. So if
Wow. So the 31st, Halloween night?
yeah, we're open.
No, no. You got a child, you wanna go trick or treat. Can we not maybe consider a Tuesday meeting on the 11th? So that we do the 11th and the 24th?
I believe we have dates, calendar that are full, and just double check on our website. And that's why we both consider those meetings.
'Cause I just would rather, when we have 3 weeks in between, our agendas get huge.
Yeah, so we have the Biscayne Park Foundation meeting on the 11th. We are closed on the 10th because of the Columbus Day holiday. And on the 18th, we have the Sustainability and Resilience Advisory Board. That's a Tuesday. The 17th, we don't have anything scheduled. But again, that's the 17th, and then we have the 31st.
Would anybody consider, because we technically meet on the 1st and 3rd week, Mondays of the month, that we would do back-to-back meetings on the 26th and then.
And
a
then
meeting on the
October
3rd?
3rd.
Follow me?
We just have back to, week to week, and then that way we have October 3rd, October 17th, November
14.
14th.
Hold on, give me 1 second. The reason why I said November 14 is because, oh no, we can do November 7th and 21st.
Yeah. So that would be the 17th, 1, 2, it'd actually be it'd be 3 weeks there. But it would still technically be the first and the third Monday of the month.
Uh-huh.
So if everybody's okay with doing 1 week apart instead of 2 weeks apart. So instead of having a 2-week gap, we would have a 1-week gap. And
October
I think it'd just
3rd.
be nice because then that way we don't end up with a huge agenda.
3rd and October 17th. Okay. I will let her know. I'm not sure if you received the email, but I sent you guys an email. The property owners from 705 Northeast 120th Street, they emailed me 2 times since they left here. They were wondering if the board can consider adding the interior, exterior remodeling. It
That's
is.
why you emailed that to us.
Yeah, it is scheduled for, I told them I will talk to you guys if you guys want to look at it or wait until
It's not
September
on the,
12th.
it's not publicized. That's the issue.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Asking if we wanted to take a vote on it tonight, but it's not on. Well, she sent us the drawings, but.
Are they looking to get started right away? I don't see an issue with what they're doing because they're basically, the only thing that's in question is the front step. But the interior remodel is all within the interior. So
That little house that we were talking about.
can you send this off to the next trades? Or do you need us to go first?
I sent it off to the next trades.
So it's in process.
It's in process, but it's just, I sent it through process so they can have the reviews because we have that 3-week gap until September 12th. I didn't want it sitting just for us to see it first and then it didn't go through review process. But they're asking if we can consider voting on it tonight. I just told them I will try, but at least I can give them an answer.
It's just, because it wasn't publicized.
No, I agree. I just, being nice.
No, I agree. I mean, what they're doing is nothing, they're not changing any walls, but so as long as it's in process for the other trades,
It is.
then it's not delaying it.
Okay.
It'll come back to us and we'll rubber stamp it or stamp it afterwards. So, any other? So just real quickly on the new construction on the North 9th Court. I just feel like we're being worn down personally, or at least that's the way I see it. It's coming back with the same thing and the same thing and the same thing, and then kind of selectively acting like not understanding our direction, which I think we've been really clear on. So hopefully the next time he comes back with something that's a little more according to our feedback, I should say. But I just felt kind of, one of the things that got me was I just felt like that we're being hassled a little bit because you're delaying me, but then he's coming back with the same drawings. I was actually really surprised that there really was nothing different about what he did, except just change the roof line a little bit. I don't think he's really listening to what we have to say, so. Yeah, but he kind of forgot the rest of our feedback that we were having consistently for the entire.
Yeah, I just think that feedback is a pretty substantial redesign, right? So I personally, I think he's tried, right? Again, they're the small things, the low hanging fruit, but at least he's not ignoring us. So he's moved the balcony around, changed the roof line, which I don't think is a minor thing. quite a substantial difference in the design. Willing now to step back and break up that wall, which was an important thing. So now it's the relationship of the 2-story to the 1st story, which I don't see like a small, surgical way to improve that. It's just like a whole different design. Just come up with a whole new design, and I feel like that's maybe a bit much of an ask from one. So, I don't know. I think do I think it's gonna be the most attractive house in Biscayne Park? No, I don't really care for the design, but is it?
But I don't think we should be afraid not to ask. I mean, because, I
No,
think
and
it's our job to
but we
hold the
have.
line, like,
But we've asked many things, right?
but
We've been
there's,
here 5
but it
times.
still looks like a huge house sitting behind our original. There's still no correlation between the two structures, and it just, comes down to, he just doesn't want to do it. And if he just keeps coming back and keeps coming back, we'll eventually cave in and say yes. But basically it'll be the same thing that we said no to the first time. There's ways of redesigning the roof line on the original structure to make it more cohesive with the new structure. I just don't want to just be wore down and give in because the person just keeps coming back and with the same drawing. That was my concern, and maybe I didn't relay it the right way, but I just felt like he's not changing that much of it.
But you agree, he's made changes, right?
He has made changes. He has made changes, but there's still that huge 40-foot vertical wall overlooking the neighbor.
Which he's gonna address, right? Breaking it up. so
Let's
that's
see what he comes back with.
Yeah.
What he's done before is add a layer of, brick veneer on the side. Is he gonna do that, or is he actually gonna create some breakup of the plane? So that's why, one of the reasons I'm glad we didn't, consider moving on voting for anything is because let's see what he has in drawings.
No, for
before
sure. With
we do
this
anything.
scenario, we need to
Yeah,
have him
that
actually
was my
make
next
the change.
question. There was no vote. here.
No vote. Thank you. Okay, any other business?
I
Motion,
have a question,
hold on.
but that's
Oh.
after.
nope, okay,
I want to show you separately.
motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, 9:31, we are adjourned. Scarlett.
Turn off your mics, please.